Good evening and welcome to opening night of Romeo and Juliet at Hall High School. Woo woo! Thank you, cameras. Thank you, crew. Thank you, cast. We're amazing. And now, without further ado, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Two households, both alike in dignity, and fair Verona, where we lay our scene.
From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life,
whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do, with their death, bury their parents' strife.
The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage.
The which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
I strike quickly being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
'Tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maid to the wall.
You will show yourself a tyrant?
I will show myself a tyrant. When I fought with their maids, I'll be civil with them, and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads, take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it.
Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of the Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Curl, I'll back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run.
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I'll bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir?
No, sir.
If you do, sir, I'm for you. I serve as good a master as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
I'll say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men.
Down with Montague! Down with Montague! Fools! Cut off your swords! You know not what you do.
What? Art thou drawing among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Now put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
What noise is this? Bring me my long sword, ho!
A crutch! Why call you for a sword?
A sword, I say! Lord Montague has come and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Thou villain Capulet! Only not let me go!
Thou shalt not steer a foot to seek a foe.
What ho, you stuff, you beasts! On pain of torture, from these bloody hands, throw your misinterpreted weapons to the ground and listen to the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, thread of an airy word, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Good morrow, cousin.
The day so young.
But news struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long.
What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should, without eyes, see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate, oh anything of nothing first create, oh heavy lightness, serious vanity, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart suppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I shall go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo, he's some otherwhere.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why, no. But sadly tell me who.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good markman, and she's fair I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow, she hath Dian's wit. And in strong proof of chastity well armed, by love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty. Only poor that when she dies with beauty dies her store.
And she hath sworn that she will still live chaste?
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
He that is struck and blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
But Montague's is bound as well as I in penalty alike. But 'tis not hard, I think, for one so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, madam, sir, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, lest we think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
The earth hath taken all my hopes but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree, for within her scope of choice lies my fair and according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest such as I love, and you among the store. One more most welcome makes our number more. Come, go with me.
Go So, sir, trudge about through fair Verona and find those persons out whose names are written here, and to them say, our house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here. I am sent to find the people whose names are here writ, yet I can never find the names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented. Oh, Godden, good fellow.
God, Godden, I pray, sir, can you read?
I, mine own fortune in my misery, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselm and his beauteous sisters, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosalind. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To supper, to our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if he be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest ye merry.
At this same feast of ancient Capulets sups the fair Rosalind, whom thou so lovest with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her face to some that I will show, and I shall make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse! 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 Where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my own virginity I bade her come. What, lamb? God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?
How now, who calls?
Your mother?
Madam, I'm here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear a counsel, for thou knowest my daughter is of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, 'tis since the earthquake now 18 years, and she was weaned. I shall never forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day, for then I had laid wormwood to my boob, sitting in the sun under the dove-house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain. When it did taste the wormwood of the nipple on my tit, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it touchy and fall out the dug, and since that time it's 18 years. And on that day she could stand alone, for even the day before she broke her brow. My husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall upon thy back if thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dam, the pretty wretch left crying, and said, I warrant, and I shall live to see 1,000 years, I shall never forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he, and the pretty fool looked up and said,
Enough of this! I pray thee, hold thy peace. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hadst suck wisdom from thy teat.
Well, Think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, lady, such a man, why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
A flower, in faith, a berry flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less? Nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I look to like, if looking liking move.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Send happy nights to happy days.
Bring me a torch, I'm not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground, I cannot move. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it, should you burden love? Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down.
Nay, that is not so. I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Ah, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes of long spiders' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the collars, moonlight's watery beam, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoneer, a small gray-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm plucked from the lazy fingers of a maid, her chariot, an empty hazelnut made from a joiner squirrel or an old grub, time out of mind the fairy's coachmakers, and in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love, or courtiers' knees who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who dream straight on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweetmeats tainted are. This is the angry Mab who plaits the manes of horses in the night, who bakes the elf-lock into foul sluttish hairs, which once unraveled much misfortune bodes. This is the angry hag who, when maids lie on their back, presses them and learns them forth to bear, making women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind that you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike, drum!
women, ladies that had their toes unplagued with corns, will now have a bout with you. My mistresses, which of you will now deny to dance?
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. The measure done, I'll watch her places stand, and holding hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. Who dares a slave? Come now, covered in an antique face, to fleer and scorn in our solemnity. By the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I shall hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle cuz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and, to speak truth, Flora brags of him. Therefore, be patient, take no note of him.
I shall not endure him.
Shall not endure him? He shall be endured. I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master or you? God shall mend my soul. He'll make a mutiny among my guests.
Uncle, why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to. You are a saucy boy. Be quiet, or for shame I'll make you quiet. But cheerly my hearts.
Patience perforth, with willful choler meeting, makes my flesh tremble with their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seemingly sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with mine worthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this: my lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong by your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is sweet palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by yours my sin is purged.
Well, then have my lips for the sin that they have taken.
Sin from thy lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise, and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell you, he that lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away! Be gone! The sport is at the best.
So I fear the more is my unrest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yond gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he now that's going out of door?
Marry that, I think, be young Petruchio.
What's he following now? That would not dance?
His name is Romeo, and of Montague. He is the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this? Come, let's away. The strangers all are gone.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir.
That fearful witch love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair.
Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charms of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks.
Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear, and she as much in love, her means much less, to meet her new beloved anywhere.
But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo! He is wise, and on my lie hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt the garden gate. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humor, madman, passion, lover, appear to us in likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but I, me, pronounce but love and dove. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lips, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domain that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hears thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He just had scars that never felt a wound. But soft. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. It is my lady! Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I wore a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
Is but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's a Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name! What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. And with thy name that is no part of thee, take all of myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou thus bescreened in that night, so stumblest upon my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of this tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The garden gates are high and hard to climb, and the place is death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, but thou love me. Let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Well, do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I will believe thee.
If my heart's dear
Oh,
love...
well, do not swear. Although I take joy in thee, I take no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, too unadvised. Sweet good night.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine?
I did give thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and to give it to thee again. And yet I wish for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Juliet!
I hear some noise from within. Anon, good nurse? Sweet Montague, be true.
Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard, being a knight, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and then good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, and I'll procure to come to thee. Where and what time will perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon, but if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come. To cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send my nurse.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love, as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Romeo?
My dear?
I have forgotten why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget, to have thee still stand here, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, yet no further than a wanton's bird.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I would kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's house, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, and flecked darkness like a drunkard reels from forth they path. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer, and night stank dew to dry, I must fill up this oiger cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juice flowers. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this, being smelt with that part cheers each part. Being tasted, slays all senses with the heart.
Good morrow, father.
Benedicity, young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight?
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wouldst thou with Rosalind?
With Rosalind, my ghostly father? No, no, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been, then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy. Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on her, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage, when and where and how we met. We wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosalind, whom thou did love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes.
I pray thee chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote, but could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your two households' rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man. Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo. He's already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with a blind boy's butt shaft. And he's the man to encounter Tybalt.
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than the king of cats, I'll tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, a gentleman of the very first house, the first and second cause. The immortal passado, the punto reverso, the high!
The what?
The pox of such antic, lisping, affecting fantisticos. These new tuners of accents. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall woman, a very good whore.
Oh, here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Bonjour, Signor Romeo. There's a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The ship, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That is to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands?
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
Most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me this jest now, till thou have worn out thy pump, that when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after wearing the soul singular.
Oh, single-souled jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Why now? Is this not better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature.
Here's goodly gear.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good den for a gentlewoman.
Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can. But young Romeo will be older when you've met him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well. If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Abod, abod, abod! Soho! Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady.
Mary, farewell. Pray you, sir, a word. My young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say I will keep to myself, but first let me tell ye. If ye shall lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if thou shalt deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Good nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest
With heart and I faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a very gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall, at Father Lawrence's house, be shrived and married.
This afternoon, sir. Well, she shall be there.
Yes. Farewell. Be trusty and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Oh, God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, Lord, when 'twas a prating thing. There is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, has lief see a toad, a fairy toad as see it. I anger her sometimes and tell her that Paris is the proper man, but I warrant when I tell her so, she looks pale as any cloud in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo begin with a letter?
Aye, nurse, what of that? Both with an R?
Ah, mocker, that's the dog's name. Ours for
Commend me to thy mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet with him. Oh, that's not so. Oh, God, here she comes now. Now, nurse, good, sweet nurse, what news? Oh, what? Why does that look sad? Is thy news sad? If yes, say it merrily. If no, shamest thou the music of sweet news by telling it to me with so sour a face?
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
What hast thou the bones, and thy news? Nay, come, pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Can you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast the breath to tell me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Say either, and I'll say the circumstance. Answer to that. Is it good or bad? Let me be satisfied.
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he. Though his leg be better than any man's, and his face excels all man's, for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not talked on yet, they are past compare.
Good, sweet nurse. Speak, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous and a kind and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is your mother? Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil! What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's house. There stays a husband to make you a wife. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, all to dinner, hie you to his house.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
Upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so, too swift arrives as tardy as too slow.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive by this dear encounter.
They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess that I cannot sum up the sum of half of my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For, by your leaves, you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Come, come. Thou as hot as Jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me closely, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
But one word with one of us. Why not couple it with something? Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consorts? Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance. Sounds, consorts.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look. Let them gaze. I will budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done to me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your Bazzano.
Oh, Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
I am hurt. Plague on both your houses, I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What, art thou hurt?
A scratch. Marry, 'tis enough.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, not so deep as a well or wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and I'm afraid you will find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warn, for this world. A plague on both your houses! Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. Plague on both your houses! They have made worms as meat of me, I have it. And soundly to your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman?
Oh, Romeo! Brave Mercutio's dead.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins to woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort with him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, be gone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he who killed Mercutio, Tybalt, the murderer? Which way ran he?
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that slew thine kinsman, brave Mercutio. Romeo that spoke his fair,
Bid him to think how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those who kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, and bring in cloudy night immediately. Come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night, come thou gentle, loving, black-browed night, and give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him into little pieces, and he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, here comes my nurse.
Aye.
Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Alack the day, dead, dead, dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Gone, killed, dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo, Romeo, whoever would have thought? Romeo.
Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I. If he be slain, say I. If not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
I saw the wound, I saw it with mine eyes. A bloody course, a bloody piteous course. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore blood. I swounded at the sight.
Oh, break my heart! Poor bankrupt, break at once!
Tybalt, the best friend I ever had. That ever should I live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered? And is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dearer lord.
Tybalt is gone and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did, alack the day, it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Oh, what a beast I was to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him who killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord. What tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours' wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? But that villain cousin would have killed my husband. And my husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. Oh, this is comfort. And Tybalt is dead. And Romeo banished. Banished. That one word banished hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. There's no end. No measure, bound, limit in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my mother?
weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to her? I'll bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears? Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Come, cords. Come, nurse. I'll to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie you to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye! Your Romeo will be here at night. He is hid at Lawrence's house. All to him.
Oh, find him!
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man!
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom?
A gentle judgment has vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment. Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death mistermed. Calling death banishment, thou cuts my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin! O rude unthankfulness! This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not!
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lived, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, live here in heaven and may look on her. But Romeo may not, he is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word banished?
By and by. Romeo, hide thyself. I come! God's will stay in my study. I come! What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, Holy Father. Oh, tell me, Holy Father. Where's my lady's love? Where's Romeo?
Nurse!
Ah, sir, ah, sir. Well, death's the end of all.
Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer? Where is she? And how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and falls down on her bed and starts up again, and on Tybalt calls, and on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. That name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Tell me, Father, in what part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful
Hold
mansion.
my desperate hand! Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. What? Rouse thee, man! Thy Juliet is alive. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy? A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array.
But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pout'st upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love hence and comfort her. But look that thou stays not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage. Reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back. Go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady. Romeo is coming.
Oh Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
Go hence. Good night, and by the break of day, sojourn in Mantua. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we've had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we're bored to die. 'Tis very late, shall not come down tonight, but I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me, nay more, I doubt it not. I shall go to her ere I go to bed, acquaint her here of my thy love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lady.
Monday. Wednesday is too soon. Oh, Thursday let it be. On Thursday I'll tell her you shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly if you revel much. Therefore we'll have some half a dozen friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Wonderful. Get you gone. Thursday be it then. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho. It is so very late we may call it early by and by.
It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yond light is not daylight. I know it. It is a meteor that the sun hath exhaled to be to thee a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content so thou will have it so. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is it, my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. It is. Hie hence, be gone, away. It was the lark that sings so out of tune. More light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam!
Nurse!
Your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
I must hear from thee every day within the hour.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings love to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come. Adieu, adieu.
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, thou washed him from his grave with tears, and thou couldst not make him live.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death as that villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo. We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not, and weep no more. I shall send to one of Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live, shall give him such an accustomed dram that he soon shall keep to Tybalt's company, and then I hope thou will be satisfied. But now I tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste, that I must wed ere he should-be husband comes to woo. These are news indeed.
How? Will you none? Do you not give us thanks? Are you not proud? Do you not count you are blessed, unworthy as you are, that we have wrought so noble a gentleman to be your bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, even if that hate is meant love.
How now, chop logic. Wait, thank me no thanks, nor proud be no proud, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next. Go with Paris St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone, in company. Still, my care has been to have you matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, pray you pardon me. But, as you'll not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not use to jest. Thursday be near, lay hand on heart aside, and you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And be you not hang, beg, starve, die in the streets.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh God! Oh, nurse! How shall this be prevented? Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished and all the world to nothing, that he dares never come back to challenge you, or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case stands as it now doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman, Romeo's a disclout to him. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are better in the second match, for it excels your first.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my very soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in, and tell my lady I'm to the fathers, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
ancient damnation. Oh, most wicked fiend, go, counselor! Thyself and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. All to the Father to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have the power to die.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
My mother Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack her haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is a course. I like it not.
Immoderately, she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her mother counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and the lady's wisdom hastes our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes a lady towards my house.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
Oh, the tears have got a small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongst it more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter. Now, my lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door! And when thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past help, past cure, past hope.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. I hear that thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not that thou hearest of this, Father, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. God join my heart in Romeo's dour hands. And therefore, thy long experience time, give me some present counsel. Or behold, betwixt my extremes in me, this bloody knife shall play the umpire.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me a new-made grave, and lay me with a dead man in his shroud rather than marry Paris.
Then hold. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse, no warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then thou shalt be born to the same ancient vault where all of the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
Oh, give me. Tell me not of fear.
Hold. Get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve.
No, madam. So, please, let me now be left me alone.
Good night, get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear that thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. Come, vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? Or what if this be a poison which the Father subtly hath ministered to have me dead? Lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not. He still hath been tried a holy man. How if, when I'm laid in the tomb, I wake before the time Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Is it not like that I, so stifled in the vault, to whose no foul mouth, no hellsome air breathes in, there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not like that I, so early waking, be distraught, environed by all these hideous fears? And play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mingled tybalt from his shroud. And in this rage, as with some great kinsman's bone, as like a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, who did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay! Tybalt, stay! Romeo, I come. This I do drink to thee.
Paris. Hi, make haste, the bridegroom, he's come already. Make haste, I say.
Mistress! What mistress? Fie, you slug of bed. What love I say? Madam, sweetheart, why bride? What, not a word? You take your penny's worth now, sleep for a week. For the next night I warrant the county Paris hath set up his rest, that you should rest but little. God forgive me, Mary and amen, how sound is she asleep? I must needs wake her. Madam, will it not be? What, dressed? And in your clothes? And down again? I must needs wake you. Lady, lady, lady! Alas, alas, help, help! Some aquavite, ho! Help, help, my lady is dead!
What noise is here?
Help, help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
He's dead, deceased, she's dead, alack the day!
How? Let me see. Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled, and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies on her, like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day!
Oh, woeful times! Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face? And doth it give me such a sight as this?
Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded.
Peace, oh, for shame! Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid, and now heaven hath all, and all the better it is for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life.
All things of the ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral.
Sir, go you in, and go, Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course into her grave.
Sweet flower with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I shall do. Or, wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I shall keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight? To cross my obsequies and true love's right. What with a torch? Muffle me, night, a while.
Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee, whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. But if thou jealous dost return to pry, and what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Farewell, good fellow.
For all the same, I hide me hereabouts. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Vile Montague, can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I apprehend thee. Obey, and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Oh, good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Go hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin on my hand by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Oh, wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy!
Oh, Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch.
Oh,
Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
in faith I will. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred.
my love, my wife. Death that has sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with the righteous kiss. A dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy trucks are quick. Thus with a kiss, I die.
Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill, unlucky thing. Romeo? Oh, pale and steeped in blood? Oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable father! Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am! Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death. A greater power than we can contradict has thwarted our intents. Come away! Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead.
What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hands? Poison, I see hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl! Drunk all and left not a friendly drop to help me after. Thy hands are warm. Yeah, noise? Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There, rust, and let me die.
What misadventure so early up that wakes us from our morning's rest? People cry in the streets Romeo and Juliet and some Paris, and all run with open outcry towards our monument. What fear is this which startles in our ear?
Sovereign, there lies County Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Say at once what thou dost know in this.
Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, there dead, was the faithful wife of that Romeo. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, and his untimely death banished the new bridegroom from the city, for whom not Tybalt Juliet pined.
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument.
Where be these enemies, Capulet, Montague? A scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill. Your joys with love, and I, for winking at your discords, too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished. A glooming peace this morning brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get into
Congrats
it.
in the house.
Yeah.
Go Two households, both alike in dignity.
In fair Verona, where we lay our scene.
From ancient grudge break to new mutiny. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
Whose misadventure piteous overthrows. Doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love.
And the continuance of their household rage.
Which but their children's end not could remove. Is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage.
The which
if you with
patient
patient attend, what here shall miss our toil shall strive to mend.
Woo!